In the last session, we talked about the cash flow statement, wherein we were talking about the cash flow statement, wherein we have already made the format of the cash flow statement. So yeah. So in the last session, we have covered the meaning of the cash flow statement, wherein I told you that cash flow statement shows the inflow and outflow of cash and cash equivalent from various activities. So we talked about the purpose of preparing the cash flow statement, and also understood that as per the cash flow statement, all the activities has been categorized into three parts. All the activities has been categorized into three parts: operating activity, investing activity, and financing activity. The cash flow statement is a statement which record the cash flow because of all these activities, right? So we have already covered the format for determining the cash flow from operating activity. So in today's session, we'll be starting with a question today. All right, so just a second. I hope everything that we discussed in the last session is clear to you.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's start with a question. All right, everyone. So we'll be talking about this question number one. Calculate cash flow from operating activity. Right. Profit for the year is given at 7 lakh. After considering the following items, depreciation on fixed asset is given, goodwill, amortized, gain on sale of land, appropriation of profit toward general reserve. Then following is the position of the current asset and current liability. Opening and closing balances of the current asset and current liability is given to you. Now, taking all of these information into consideration, we need to find out the cash flow from the operating activity. All right. So in order to solve this question, you must remember the format of the operating activity. Unless and until you understood and remember or able to recall the format, won't be able to solve the question. All right. So let me just solve this question for you. Question number one. I want all of you to note this down. Cash flow from operating activity. All right. So let's go back to the question. See, the first thing that is given in the question is profit for the year 7 lakh after considering the following item. So this profit has been calculated after subtracting the depreciation on fixed asset, goodwill, amortized, gain on sale of land, appropriation of profit toward general reserve. Now, first of all, what we'll do, we'll be writing the amount of profit which is given in the question. All right. So let me do that. This is profit. Just a second. Okay, so profit as per the profit and loss account is given. 7 lakh. All right. But it is given in the question that in order to determine this profit, we have subtracted the amount of reserve out of it as well. So what we need to do will add the amount of reserve that we have subtracted earlier. Reserve is given as 60,000. So we will add the amount of reserve which has been earlier appropriated out of profit. So we'll add the amount of reserve. Why we are adding it? Because we want the profit before tax and other extraordinary item. So we'll have to add this back to transfer amount that has been earlier transferred to general reserve need to be added 60,000. And by adding this, we will get the profit before tax and extra ordinary items. This will be 7,60,000. All right. Now, all other extraordinary item that has been earlier subtracted to determine the profit. Now it has to be, you have to add those extraordinary items like depreciation on fixed asset, goodwill amortized, gain on sale of land. All of these, out of these extraordinary item are basically goodwill that has been amortized is an extraordinary item. Depreciation, we have to add it because it does not cause any outflow of cash. So we have already wrote the these things in the format as well. So first of all, we'll be adding depreciation. Amount of depreciation on fixed asset. How much? It is 40,000. And amortization.
So we can't see the board.
Now is that visible to you?
Yes.
So amortization of goodwill will be added as well. Right? And then we have to subtract the gain on sale of land. All right. Is that clear, everybody? Is it clear, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So any one of you, please tell me, if we add the amount of depreciation and amortization and subtract gain on sale of land, what we will be getting after subtracting it and adding it in the profit before tax and extraordinary item? What will be the value that we will be getting here?
Sir, like operating profit before working capital changes.
Yes, right. You're right. Operating profit. We'll get the operating profit before working capital changes. Before working capital changes or before the change in working capital. Okay. So that will be 760 plus 40 will be 8 lakh, 820 minus 90,000. Just a second. It should be 820. So it will be 7 lakh 30. All right, understood everyone? Is this clear? Lima, Evan, Mariam. Okay, Halima is not here. Then what else we need to do after this? After this, we have to add the decrease in the value of the, sorry, increase in the value of the current asset. Right now, as per the format, we have to add increase in the value of the current asset. Yes or no?
Yes.
Are you sure? Increase in the value of the current asset.
No, sir. We do. It's decrease.
Yes. So decrease in current asset need to be added. Going back to the question, now see, there is an information regarding the trade receivable is given in the question, right? So trade receivable, at opening balance of the trade receivable was 60,000, right? And now it is 75,000. So there is an increase in the value of the trade receivable, right? So we won't be discussing about this right now because we want decrease in the asset. Then the next item is prepaid expenses. Prepaid expenses is also our current asset. And you can see that the opening value of the prepaid expenses were 18,000. Now it is only 10,000. So it shows there is a decrease in the value of the current asset. Got it? Is this clear, Abin? Mariam? Is it clear? There is a reduction in the value of the prepaid expenses. So prepaid expenses. There is a reduction of how much? Reduction is of 8,000. So we will add 8,000. All right. Now, apart from this, if there is increase in the value of the liability, we will have to add that as well. But as far as I'm able to see, trade payable, which is the current liability, there is a decrease in the current liability. So it need to be it need to be subtracted. All right. So anyways, let's increase in current assets. Trade receivables increased by what amount? It increased from 60,000 to 75,000. So that means there is an increase by 15,000. So whatever the increase we need to subtract it. Then trade payable is there, which is a liability. So decrease in the value of liability needs to be subtracted as a decrease in current liabilities. All right, is this clear, everyone? Please confirm if it is clear, yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then so after adding 8,000 and subtracting 15 and 25,000, we will be getting the final answer will be 6,98,000. And since we are getting the answer in positive, so it will be treated as the cash flow from operating activity. Tell me everyone if it is clear or not. Eben, Mariam, is this clear? All of you, Alexander.
Yes, sir, clear.
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Sir, can you show the top side?
Done?
Sir, wait.
Done? Shall we move to the next question?
Sir, some more part right. Wait.
Okay. So this is question number 2. It says compute cash flow from operating activity from the following information. Net profit after provision for tax and payment of dividend is given 2,15,000. All right. Provision for tax is given. Final dividend is given. Depreciation, loss on sale of machinery, patent amortized, gain on sale of land, income tax refund is given. You need to find out the cash flow from operating activity. What do you think? Do you think we'll be able to do it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Can you show
Alright,
the
then, so
sir? Can you show the solution part of first one? Some I missed.
this is the solution of the first one. No?
Yes, sir, but between second. Sir, can you scroll up here?
Done? Please note this down quickly.
Sir, can you scroll up a bit? Yes.
All right. Try solving this question, all of you.
Okay, sir. Sir, final dividend paid during the year is interim dividend.
Sorry,
So final
can you
dividend.
please repeat it?
So final dividend paid during the year is interim dividend.
Final dividend paid during the year. No, it is not the interim dividend. It is the tax paid. On the basis of this, you will be determining the value of the tax paid. In fact, just a second. Let me see. Provision. There must be some provision for the tax. Yeah, we have made the provision for 45,000 for the purpose of making the payment of tax, right? But eventually, how much has been paid as the tax? Final dividend paid during the year is 50,000. So difference between this 45,000 and final dividend is 50,000. Okay. See, this is the amount of dividend that we have paid has to be adjusted with the income tax refund, Alexander. We have paid 45,000. We got a refund of 30,000. That means that eventually we paid the tax of only 15,000. It has to be subtracted after calculating the cash generated from operation. You understand that?
Sir, after cash, like which one, operating profit?
We need to subtract it after subtracting the increase or decrease in the current asset and current liability. After subtracting, what do? We basically find out the operating profit before working capital changes, right? After that, we consider the changes taking place in the working capital. Working capital, like the current asset and current liability. And after subtracting or adding that, we will get the value of the cash generated from operation. And once we get the cash generated from operation, then only we'll be subtracting the amount of tax paid. And at that time, this information will be useful.
Okay, sir.
Shall I do this question for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just a second. So first thing which is given in the question is the net profit, right? Net profit is given as 2,15,000. All right, so this is the net profit before provision of tax and dividend. So, sorry, after provision of tax and dividend. So, to find out the net profit, what we need to do, we will be adding the provision for tax that we must have subtracted earlier. Why we are adding it? Because it is considered as an extraordinary item. Then similarly, dividend or the proposed dividend will be added as well. All right. Now, see, the value of these is given in the question itself. Provision for tax is given as 45,000, and the and the dividend paid during the year is 50,000, right? So 45,000 and 50,000. Got it? Is this clear?
Sir, proposed dividend is which one?
Proposed dividend is the dividend that we have paid, final dividend paid. In fact, let's just write this as dividend paid. Just a second. So the profit which is given in the question is after subtracting the provision for tax and dividend. Na? So in order to find out the profit before the dividend and tax, we will have to do what? We'll have to add it. Only then we will be able to get the profit.
Okay, sir.
So now this is the profit before tax and dividend. This is 2,15,000 plus 45 and 50. So totaling this, we will be getting 3,30,000. 3,10,000. Right? Is it clear till this point?
Yes.
Okay. Now, this will be considered as the net profit before tax and extraordinary item. Instead of writing profit before tax and dividend, you can write down before tax and extraordinary items. And so after this question, I'll be writing this as EOI, extraordinary item. Okay. Now, after finding out the profit before tax and extraordinary item, what do? Tell me. We add the items such as depreciation, loss on sale of asset, amortization, interest on loan, interest on debenture, interest on overdraft. Right? Remember the format? And we subtract the gain on sale of asset and or any other income. So let's find out if anything relating to that is given in the question. And as far as I'm able to see, fourth item is regarding the depreciation. And we know that depreciation has to be added. All right. Then apart from this, loss on sale of machinery is also given. We'll talk about that later. Amortization, patent amortized is given as 30,000. All right. Then gain on sale of land is given. Income tax refund is given. Okay. Now, see, we have to add the depreciation, patent amortized, and also since there is a loss on sale of machinery, loss on sale of machinery, there is no outflow of cash, so we have to add that as well. Loss on sale of machine have to be added. This will be 10,000. Got it? Is this clear? Now we need to subtract certain items. Like we need to subtract the gain on sale of land, given in the question at 70,000. Then apart from this, What else is given in the question? Okay. And there is an income tax refund is also given in the question. It is also not considered as a gain. Income tax this is not considered as a operating income. Therefore, we have to subtract it. Income tax refund is obviously causing inflow of cash, but because it is not related to operating income, so therefore we have to subtract it. 30,000. Is this clear? Now we will total it, and the amount that we'll be getting will be called operating profit. Before changes in working capital. Done, and the amount that we'll be getting, it will be 2,75,000. Then everybody, is this clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
After that, tell me what we need to do after this.
Add decrease in current asset and
Decrease in current asset, increase in current liability, right? And
Yeah.
subtract increase in current asset and decrease in current liability. So let's figure out whether there is any item given in relation to the asset or liability. And the answer is no. There is no item given in relation to the asset and liability, right? Is that clear?
yes,
So we don't have to subtract or add anything. That will be the final answer, sir. Answer is no. We have to further subtract the tax that we have paid, because information about the tax was not there in the previous question. Therefore, we did not do anything regarding the tax in the last question. But this time there is information regarding the tax, so we have to subtract it. Whatever the tax that we have paid, we need to subtract. Now, how can we determine what amount of tax has been paid? See, what is the total amount of tax paid can be calculated simply by subtracting 50,000 out of 30,000. Final difference. Provision for tax. Just a minute. Tax paid, no. Provision. Provision for tax that we have made was 45,000, and the tax refund we have got is 30,000. So that simply means that we must have paid tax amounting to 15,000. So to find out the tax amount of tax paid would be to provision of tax minus tax refund that we have got. So that will be 45,000 minus 15 minus 30,000. So this is the final answer. That's
We are not able to see your points.
2,60,000. Tell me whether this is clear or not.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Done, Abin.
Yes, sir.
Done. So let's move to the next question. Question number 3. So it says compute the cash flow from operating activities from the following information. Profit for the year ended 31st of March 2021 is given 10,000 after providing depreciation of 2,000. Okay. Current asset and current liability of the business for the year ended 2020 and 21 are as follows. So changes in the current asset and current liability is given. Trade receivable, provision for doubtful debt, trade payable, inventories, other current asset, export expenses payable, prepaid expenses, accrued income, income received in advance. So all of these are either it is the current liability or it is the current asset. So depending upon whether the current asset or liabilities are increasing or decreasing, we need to ensure whether we have to add the amount or subtract it. Got it? I hope this is clear.
Yes, sir.
So will you be able to do this? Kindly attempt this question. Let me know the answer. Is that clear,
Okay.
Alexander, Evan, Mariam? Please try solving it. This is an easy question. Done. Alexander.
They're almost done. Just like 2 more minutes.
Eben. Mariam. You're solving it or you're not able to solve it, Mariam? Eben. Whether or not you guys are trying, it's still solving. Okay, that is perfectly fine if you're still solving it. So those of you who are not able to solve, that is kind of problematic. I'm sure everyone is able to solve this. It is okay if it is taking longer than usual. That is perfectly fine, no problem. All right, so Mariam have sent the answer for the question. I'll have to just check and confirm whether it is right. You are close, Mariam. This is not the right answer, but you are close. 7,500 you are saying. 7,500 is not the right answer, but you are very close to the right answer. Alexander,
So just calculate.
by the way, Mariam, 7,700 is the right answer. Kindly check where are you making the mistake and do the correction accordingly. Done.
So I got wrong answer.
You're getting the wrong answer.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. Mariam, you got Got the right answer now? Okay, I think I'll have to solve this question for you. Yeah, just do one thing. Let me just orally tell you the right answer. So you have to start with the profit given in the question, right? Profit is given as 10,000. Everybody did the same thing, and we will add the amount of depreciation in it. There is no extraordinary item given in the question. So just by adding depreciation, we will get the operating profit before working capital changes. You understand that? So operating profit will be 12,000. Is that what you have got as well, everyone?
No, sir.
Why not? Haven't you added the amount of depreciation in it? Tell me. Okay, let me show you the solution. See, this is the solution. Everyone is able to see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, see, the first thing. What we did, we took the value of the operating profit here.
Sir, we can't see the board.
Can't see the board. I'm not trying to show you the board. Okay, see, this is the solution. Profit is given as 10,000, right? Then we have added the amount of depreciation in it. So the total operating profit is 12,000. After that, we just need to subtract the increase in the current asset, and we will be subtracting the decrease in the current liability as well. So, as per the question, there is accrued income, inventories, and other current assets. These are decreasing. You're able to see that accrued income and inventories and other current assets are decreasing. Alexander?
Yes.
Right now? So these are increasing, I'm sorry, increasing. So that therefore we have to subtract it. So other current asset goes from 10,000 to 12,000. Similarly, accrued income goes from 3 to 4,000, right? And apart from this, prepaid expenses decreases, inventories, yeah. Inventory also increases from 5 to 8,000. So all these current assets are increasing, and because there is an increase in the value of the current asset, we have to subtract the value of these. 1,000, 3,000, 2,000. And paid receivable is also increasing, right? Everyone is able to see that paid receivable is the first item. And now we will consider the current liabilities which are decreasing. So current liabilities include income received in advance. This is decreasing. We had to subtract it as well, 1,000, right? There is no other current liability which is decreasing. Now we'll move forward and talk about the increase in current liability and decrease in current assets. So what are the various liabilities which are increasing? Expense payable is increasing. Everyone is able to see that. Expense payable from 1,000 it goes to 1,500. Apart from this, provision for doubtful debt also increases from 1 to 1,200. And trade payable also increases from 13 to 15,000. What do we need to do? We will have to add all these items, right? And similarly, any subtraction in the value of the current asset need to be added as well. So let me check if there are any asset which is decreasing. All right, so there is only one item which is decreasing, which is prepaid expenses. From 2,000 goes to 1,000. We'll be adding it. So by subtracting and adding these items, we will be getting 7,700 as the final. Is it clear now? Mariam, is this clear to you now? Alexander?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Mariam, please confirm if it is clear or not. Okay. All right. So moving to the next question. Now we'll discuss question number 4. Now this seems to be a lengthy question, but it is not that lengthy. Question is, though the question seems lengthy, but solution is not difficult for this. Anyway, so it requires us to find out the cash flow from operating activity, as we were required to calculate the operating cash flow from operating activity in all 3 previous questions. So first, statement of profit and loss is given, then notes to account is given, and there is information regarding the current asset and current liability. Opening value of the current asset and current liability is given. All right, so considering all these information, we need to figure out the cash flow from operating activity. Tell me, do you think you'll be able to do it, or shall I do this for you? Just tell me.
No, sir, I don't think we'll be able to do it.
Okay, no problem. I'll do it for you. Cash flow from operating activity. So as usual, we will be starting with the net profit given in the question. You just have to go as per the format, nothing else. We'll start with, as usual, net profit given in the question. Now see, profit given in the question at the end of the statement of profit and loss. Everyone is able to see that? At the end of the statement of profit and loss, it is profit given in the question is 1,80,000. So net profit as per statement of profit and loss given as 1,80,000. Now, do you remember what do we actually need? We need profit before. Tell me. We need what? We need profit before tax and extraordinary items, right? So this is the profit given in the question 1,80,000 after the reduction of the tax. See, can you see that? Provision of tax has been subtracted out of it. To find out the profit before tax, what we do? We will add the provision for tax in it. 64,000. By doing this, we will get 2,44,000. This is the profit before tax and extraordinary items. Got it? Is this clear to you? Now we will try to find whether there are any extraordinary items given in the question. The extraordinary items are what? Like the proposed dividend, interim dividend, taxation, or transfer of tax, provision of tax. These kind of items are known as the extraordinary item. So, are you able to see anything like that? Provision of tax has already been added. So this is profit before tax and extraordinary item. We will have to subtract what? We need to find out extraordinary items such as depreciation, or if there are any gain on sale of plant and machinery, or anything like that.
Yes, so there is depreciation.
There is depreciation, right? So if there is depreciation given in the question, what we'll do? What do we do with the depreciation? We add it, right?
Yes.
And apart from this, is there any other thing? Depreciation is how much? Depreciation and amortization expenses 1,85,000. Right now? 1,85,000. Is that clear to you? After that, we'll try to find out other items. So purchase of stock
Yeah.
in trade, change in investment, depreciation, other expenses. These are not extraordinary items. Moving to the notes to account, we have dividend received. All right, and gain on sale of plant. Now this is an extraordinary item, right? Right now, what do we need to do with the gain on sale of plant? Tell me.
So we
What
subtract.
do we will be subtracting it, right? So gain on sale of plant. It is given as 40,000. All right. And moving downwards, we have one more item given in the notes to account only. The last item, loss on sale of asset. Everybody is able to see that? Loss on sale of asset. What we'll do will be we'll have to add that. Add loss on sale of asset. Apart from this, dividend received, dividend received is not the operating income, it is the financing income or investing income. So we'll be writing dividend income in the investing activity. So we will have to basically subtract it from here, right? Less dividend received. The dividend received is given as 5,000. Got it, everyone? Is this clear? Yes or no? I'm not
Yes.
able to see any other thing that can be classified as the extraordinary item. Now, this will be called operating profit. Capital changes in working. So this should be 2,44,000 subtracting 36, 185 out of it. Sorry, adding 36 and 185 in it and subtracting 40 and 5,000. So we should be getting 4,20,000. All right, is it clear now?
Yes.
Then now what we need to do, we need to add the increase in current asset and increase in current liability. Sorry, we need to add the increase in current asset, increase in current asset. Is there any item relating to current asset given in the question? Tell me if you're able to see that.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Trade receivable.
Trade receivable from opening balance was 4,15,000. It goes down. It increases to 4,52,000. Right.
Yes, yes,
So we need to subtract it. No, you will have to subtract it. Or no?
yes, sir.
Trade receivables from 4,15,000 to 4,52,000. So there is 47. Okay. And is there any other thing regarding the trade payable? It goes from 250 to 2,78,000. So there is an increase in the trade payable. And what about the inventory? It goes from 2,84,000 to 3 lakh. So there is an increase in the value of the inventory as well. Inventories 84 to 33 lakh. So that is 16,000. Apart from this, what else is given? We have office expenses. Earlier it was 5,000. Now there is no office expense outstanding. That means we must have paid office expense. So there must be a reduction in the cash. Done. After that, we have selling expenses which increased from 22 to 25,000. So we'll have to add that. Trade payable is trade payable increase from 250 to 78. Selling expense outstanding goes from 22 to 25,000. That means there is an increase in the outstanding expense by 3,000. Then I think we have treated all the items, everyone. There is one more, I think, left. Inventory. There is okay. Everything is done. Done. Understood, everyone? Is this clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Mariam? Okay then. So we have to add basically 28,000 and 3,000 and other need to be subtracted. So by doing that, we'll be getting the. Okay, let's do one more thing. Now. Let's just subtract the amount of tax paid as well. Whatever the value we'll get here, that will be 3,93,000. Let me tell you. This is 3,93,000. Out of this, we need to subtract 64,000. And by subtracting 64,000 out of it, 64,000 is the tax that we have paid during this year. Right? Is this clear? Where did we pick up the amount of tax? I have taken it from the statement of profit and loss account, 64,000. By subtracting it, the profit that we'll be getting will be 3 lakh and 3 lakh 29,000. Again, we are getting the positive answer, so that will be cash flow from operating. This is our final answer. Tell me, Abin, Mariam, Alexander, is this clear or not?
Yes, sir. Sir, if we are going to subtract the tax in the end anyway, then why are we adding it in the beginning?
Because we need to figure out there is a system that we need to follow, Alexander. So we need to go as per the format. So since format requires us to first of all find out the operating profit before the changes in working capital, or in fact, as per the format, we require to find out the profit before tax and extraordinary item. So therefore, we have to add it. And later, when we want to eventually find out the amount of cash flow from operating activity, then at that time we need to subtract it. So this is just because we are going as per the format, therefore we are doing it. All right.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Understood.
Sometimes what happens, the question, the information given in the question in such a manner that question just requires you to find out the operating profit before changes in working capital. All right. So and if in that case you are not following the format, then in that situation you will be going to commit a mistake. Because like if you think that way, that ultimately we need to subtract it eventually at the time of finding out the cash flow from operating activity at the very end. So let's not subtract it right now. But if question is asking you to find out the operating profit before changes in working capital, or if question only requires you to find out the profit before tax and extraordinary item, then in that case it needs to be subtracted, na? Right? It is not necessarily that question will be put up in a manner that you have to find out the cash flow from operating activity. Question can be like that as well, where you will be supposed to find out the operating profit before changes in working capital. It could be relating to profit before tax and extraordinary items. This kind of question can also be there for 1 or 2 marks. And in that case, you have to follow the format. Otherwise, you won't be getting the right answer. I hope this is clear.
Yes, sir. Now it's clear.
Okay. So this was our question number 4. I have, I think, one more question based on same. Okay, yeah. Question number 5. I want you to try this as well. This is comparatively an easy question. It shouldn't take much time solving it. Try solving it within 10 minutes. Let me give you a small hint for this question. The surplus, which is given in the question, opening surplus and the closing surplus, based on the opening and closing, you need to find out the net profit. All right. So if opening is 1 lakh and closing is 3,36,000. So to determine the net profit, what we need to do, we just need to subtract the subtract 1 lakh out of 3,30,000, which will give you the amount of net profit. All right. And once you get the amount of net profit, you need to find out the profit before it's an extraordinary item, and for that purpose, you will be basically adding certain items, obviously. Okay. See, like in this question, you are not supposed to find out the cash flow from operating activity. Question just requires you to determine the net profit for tax and extraordinary items. That is what I was telling you in the previous question as well. Do it quickly. Let me know whether you are getting the right answer. Done, everyone. Evan, Mariam, Alexander.
No, sir, 1 minute.
Okay, just let me know if you are having any difficulty solving it. Mariam, having any problem? You're having some trouble. Okay. All right. So in that case, I think I'll have to show you the right solution. All right. Let me just give you a little guidance. See, first of all, we'll start with the profit, right? Profit given in the question as 3,36,000 minus 1 lakh. This will be 2,36,000, right? Profit for this question will be 2,36,000. Is that clear, Mariam? Okay. After that, once you get the amount of profit, you need to add certain items. Like please note it somewhere in your notebook. We will be adding extraordinary items such as the amount that we have transferred to reserve, proposed dividend, interim dividend, provision for taxes, extraordinary items. All of these items are the extraordinary extraordinary expenses. We will have to add it. All right. So transfer to reserve, proposed dividend, interim dividend, and provision for tax. and the loss due to earthquake. We will be adding all of these. Why? Because these are not ordinary expenses. Because we must have subtracted it earlier. So now to determine the correct amount of profit, we will be adding it. All right. So these will be added. Apart from this, there is one information regarding the insurance proceed from earthquake. This is income, obviously, but it is not the regular income. This is the extraordinary income. We will be subtracting it. You understand that? Okay. So just a second. Let me show you the solution. In fact, profit as per the profit and loss is given as 2,36,000. We will be adding transfer to reserve, proposed dividend, interim dividend, provision for taxes, loss due to earthquake, and subtracting the insurance proceed from earthquake. All right. Done. And one more thing, refund of taxes need to be subtracted as well. Why? Because this is also not the ordinary income. This is an ordinary. This is not an ordinary income. Therefore, we need to subtract it. 3,000. By doing this, we'll be getting the final answer at 7,45,000. Understood, everyone? Alexander, Mariam, and Evan.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, proposed dividend is given from. So proposed dividend is given from current year, no?
Proposed dividend is. Just a second. Yeah. So.
But in the format we wrote previous year.
And we are adding it. Okay. All right. So you need to make the correction in this question. We won't be adding proposed dividend in this case. All right, because this is in relation to the current year, we will have to write the amount of dividend for the previous. You either make the correction in the question that instead of treating it the dividend for the current year, you can treat it as the dividend for the previous year. All right, that is a mistake in the question in fact. Else either you correct the question or you make the correction in the solution. That is up to you. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Then. So otherwise, apart from this, everything is clear now.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay, so just make a little correction in the question that it is interim dividend paid for the previous year. Now, I'm giving you one question for the homework trial. Kindly take the screenshot of this question. You need to find out the operating income or cash flow from the operating activity in this case. All right. And this is it for today's session, everyone. We'll start the investing and probably we'll also cover the financing activity in the next session. All right. Is this clear, all of you?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay then. So this is it for today's session. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you in the next class. Take care. Goodbye.